We see that principle applied with the saints leaving Nauvoo. When they were abandoning the temple they had just built, they received their ordinances. And when you read their diaries, yes, they're sad that they're having to leave the temple behind, right? If you've been there and you go down that road and you see the temple and you can imagine just having to leave it behind, it's a tragic and a sad and very spiritual, sacred experience to kind of put yourself in their shoes. But when you read their diary entries, they didn't feel like they were leaving the temple behind. They felt like they had received their ordinances and they were taking the temple with them.
Yeah. Well, this is what is so critical to understand about all that God gives. It goes back to the verse about taking or being blessed with things that time, moth, whatever, cannot corrupt, cannot rust. That the things God gives you, especially in the temple, those covenants and the power given, they are things that you take with you for eternity. They can't be taken from you. Try as the world might to interfere with that and to intercede and prevent you from receiving those blessings. So that's a witness to those that don't have a spouse, maybe, that's a member, or that their kids aren't members anymore, or whatever the case may be. If you are true and faithful and you have made covenants with the Lord, you have that power that no man can take from you. Nobody can remove that blessing and that covenant and the power that accompanies it from you. And that's what we're trying to say is dedicate sacred times, sacred places, or how does he say it? Sacred times, holy places. Create that in your home to whatever measure you can, and the Lord will manifest himself to you in your desire and your efforts to do so.
And this is kind of the key to unlocking the whole concept that your body is a temple.
Correct.
That what you're given, you take with you. And if you're cast out of your homeland and your home, well, you take the gospel with you and you reestablish it. And, and then we can just continue seeking as Abraham did, that the Lord comes unto us and that he sups with us and we have his presence. He abides with us in our heart and also in our home. And
this is where it started in this dispensation.
All that out of one verse.
Yeah, that's right.
Then we go into verses 6 to 21, which is most of it is actually a recap of section 88, which is where the commandment was given to build the temple. And it talks, there's a lot of instruction on why the temple is to be built, and blessings and instruction on the purpose of the temple and how it is to be used. And in verse 12, we see that it is dedicated and also consecrated. So we see that model, which has been continued, that temples are dedicated to the Lord and also consecrated and set apart. What does it say? But dedicated to thee, that it may be sanctified and consecrated to be holy, and that thy holy presence may be continually in this house. And I was pondering on that a little bit, because obviously we dedicate our homes, which is definitely a teaching mechanism to show that they are meant to be temples. We dedicate them to the Lord, and we don't consecrate our homes. And perhaps that's because we have a little, maybe it's a little more difficult to truly set them apart from the world 100% as the church is able to do with the temples. Thank you for watching. If you found this content spiritually enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like the gospel, these little things make all the difference, and it helps the algorithm push out better content for everyone to enjoy on YouTube.